Okay, perfect. Now we are live, and dear attendees, welcome and thank you for joining us for a very interesting webinar. Today, the umbrella topic for today's webinar, as you know, is studying electrical engineering and information engineering in Germany. And it's a kind of a subject webinar, series from subject webinars, which means that I am not alone today, thankfully, and I'm the least interesting person for you today at the same time, because we have several guests from German universities who will introduce their unique study programs to you, and you have a very good opportunity to ask your questions directly to the representatives of the programs. And then they will try their best to provide the best possible answer because they are the ones who can do that, of course. For the newcomers, who are not that much familiar with the Zoom webinar setting of the Zoom, you can see the Q&A button. It is just next to the chat button. It is already open. It will be open until the very end of the webinar, and you can send in your questions using this Q&A button, and they will be answered either in the written form very quickly or a bit later live by one of our speakers. And so we will have a live Q&A session, which will start as soon as our two presenters are done with their presentations, and then your questions will be answered live. That's why I would suggest you try your best and to stay as long as possible to make sure that your questions will be answered. I mean, your questions will anyway be answered, but so that you can also hear that answer, right? Let me now share my screen with you and introduce to you agenda for today. So agenda is that we will have a guest from OTH, or 𝘗𝘓𝘪𝘮𝑔𝑔𝑡𝑪che Technische Hochschule Regensburg. It's 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘪, who will hopefully join us shortly, and she will talk about master's level program in electrical and microsystems engineering. And then we'll move not that far away to Technische Hochschule Ingolstadt, and we have Professor Dr. Bochert with us. You can see her also in front of your screens, and she will talk about bachelor level program of sustainable civil engineering. So we have both master and bachelor level programs presented today. A good opportunity for both levels to ask your questions. Before we move to our speakers, let me quickly tell you who is behind today's webinar. We are my German university, and we will the bell will ring when you are searching for the English taught study programs in Germany. We will be up there somewhere. You will find us, and we are Germany's largest database of English taught study programs. We have over 2,700 degree programs listed in our database: bachelor level, master's level, MBAs, LLM. Also, we have short courses and language courses. And yeah, our main mission, if you wish, is to assist international students who would like to study in Germany, who would like to pursue a degree in Germany. And how we exactly do that? Through three key ways. I mean, there's several other ways, but the three basic ways are through our study finder. You can see now on the screens the small version of our study finder, but when you go out to our website, you can see the full version of our study finder with all of its filters. You can control, for example, find programs according to your desired location, according to your, of course, desired discipline, according to the mode of admission, and so on and so forth. Lots of filters that you can use to easily and quickly find the desired program. And this will make your life much easier, definitely. The second way of helping you is through writing up articles, of course, regarding studying in Germany. We have the different articles, for example, APS certificate, which is now very popular among Indian students, that you have to present this, right? Also, Hochschul start, language requirements, letter of motivation writing, CV writing, technical universities in Germany, rankings, and so on and so forth. Various topics, very relevant, of course, to studying in Germany, and they're all free. And I would invite you to, whenever you have time, to take a look at those articles. They're quite comprehensive. And the third, last but not least, we also help you through organizing numerous webinars throughout the year. We have around 150 webinars, quite a lot of opportunities for you to join in and to ask your questions. And yeah, we have webinars like on scholarships, on UniAssist, on visa, on studying in Germany. So these are those webinars where I'm or my colleagues are alone, and we are talking about general topics. But of course, we have mostly the webinars like the one that you're attending right now, the subject webinars, when we are not alone, when we have guests from German universities and they are talking and presenting their particular study programs. And again, you have a unique opportunity to ask your questions and get the best possible answers, because obviously they know the best about their study programs, right? And we are based in Hamburg, in Germany, in northern part of Germany, the rainy part of Germany nowadays. And yeah, we are from different parts of the world also, and we are based in different parts of Germany. That's why we are counseling also in different languages. So for those who are also interested in German taught study programs, I would also suggest you to take a look at 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘱. There you might find some interesting programs related to electrical engineering and information engineering, but mostly in German language. But if you are willing to study at least mostly in English, then my German university and our study finder should definitely be a stop. We have over 200 degree programs related to these disciplines. We have bachelor's level, master's level, also MBA programs, and most of them you can see are in English only, which means that you do not need any knowledge of German to get into those programs, and in most cases to successfully complete them, which is an amazing opportunity, of course. I also, several years ago, made a good use of this opportunity. And yeah, so for those who are not aware of what does it mean to study these subjects in Germany, we also have various subject pages on different subjects. And there you can find information, for example, general information about the rankings of universities that are offering these studies in these disciplines, or tuition fee ranges that you should expect or you should budget if you want to study this subject in Germany, and different requirements. So this is a very nice first step, and first step towards creating a bigger picture of what does it mean to study this or that discipline in Germany. Also, our suggestion is that you should not be guided only by sole aspects when you're searching for the right program in university. Of course, separately, fees, rankings, names, and the cities matter, but they are not the only factors that you should take into account. You have to take into account them, of course, and much more. For example, those aspects which are based on your individual backgrounds, on your career aspirations, and more, in order to make sure that you are making the right choice. And choosing the right program and the right university is one of the crucial, if not the most crucial steps towards your successful future. So as I introduced today, as you might already know, in Germany, there are two key types of universities. One is called Universität type of university. Another one is called University of Applied Sciences in English, and in German, it has some variations in namings, for example, Hochschule. And today I introduced two Hochschules, so two University of Applied Sciences. So when we're talking about these types of universities, we are more talking about application and practice orientation. And last but not least, in addition to the aspects that I mentioned before, when you are searching for the programs through our study finder, also my suggestion would be to be a bit flexible with filters, with wordings when you are searching for the program. By doing that, you will make sure that you are aware of all of the opportunities that Germany is able to offer you based on your interests and backgrounds, and then your chances of making the right choice in the right direction will increase drastically. All right. That being said, let me now move to the interesting part of our afternoon. Let us move to OTH Regensburg, and you can see where it's located. So in the south of Germany, you can see it on the map. So we are moving from the north to the south. And Gudrun Seebauer is with us, and she will talk about master's level program in electrical and microsystems engineering. Let me stop my screen share here and invite our guest to take the floor.
Thank you very much. Give me just 1 second, then I share my screen. So hopefully you can all see it now and hear me as well.
Great.
So thank you again for inviting me. So my name is Gudrun. I'm the International Affairs Officer of 𝘱𝘢𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘍𝑒 Technische Hochschule Regensburg. This is a very, very long name. Which means basically University of Applied Sciences in Regensburg. And I'm especially here today to welcome you to the Faculty of Applied Natural Sciences and Cultural Studies. Of course, today we are more focusing on applied natural sciences, and I want to introduce the study program Electrical and Microsystems Engineering. As I said, or as Georgie said, we are based in the south of Germany, in a federal state called Bavaria. You can see it here on the maps. We have around 150,000 inhabitants in Regensburg. and roughly around 33,000 students. So it's basically a very student life based city. We are in between Munich and Nuremberg, if you have heard that before. And on my next slide, you can see which companies are based in our region. Especially interesting for electrical and microsystems engineering is most probably Osram, Siemens, Continental, Infineon. So we are very practical oriented, and we work together with these huge companies. So we have lecturers from the companies. Students have the opportunity to do the project and master thesis in these companies, and we strongly work together with them. Just to give you a little bit of an impression, this is Regensburg. We have a medieval town center, a cathedral, a stone bridge, and also a lot of nice places. So we are in December now, so it's really terrible outside. I can tell you, we have a storm and it's raining, but in the summertime, as you can see on the picture, it's really, really nice. And this is the University of Applied Sciences of Regensburg. We are basically a very new university, at least our buildings are very new. And you can see here, the big picture in the middle, for example, is our library and our Mensa where you can eat. So we have possibilities of sitting outside and enjoy student life as well, not only in the inside. So my faculty is a very diverse faculty, but today, as I said, we're focusing more on electrical and microsystems engineering. That's why you're here for. And I want to introduce the study program, which is a 3-semester study program, from which you can graduate with a Master of Engineering in the end. It's a very interdisciplinary and a very international focused study program. So that means that you can study the master program completely in English. That's the first thing, but it also has a strong international focus, which means that we have a lot of international students in the first place, but we also have 4 double degree programs with universities in Malaysia and China, where you can do a double degree program if you want to, but you can also just focus on the studies itself in Regensburg in Germany, with the focus of semiconductor technology, electrical engineering, optoelectronics, and electronics. As I said, it's a 3-semester study program. So it's 2 semesters theoretical lectures, actually. And 1 semester is actually designed to do the master thesis, and we also have to do a project thesis. Most of our students do the project and master thesis in a company nearby, or also Germany-wide, or even worldwide. But of course, we do not required to have any study fees, but we have a little bit of a registration fees for each semester that is around 170 euros. But our university does not provide any accommodation, which is a big topic in Germany, because the housing is a big thing, especially in our area. So that's why I say it in between. We have a very nice study program, and we have a lot of students that are interested. But you need to be aware that we cannot help with accommodation. What I also have to say, because I get a lot of emails about that, you have to be in Regensburg. It's not a virtual program, yeah? And unfortunately, we also do not offer any scholarships. The requirements for the admission is a bachelor in technical or natural sciences with a minimum grade of 2.7 in the German grading system. So we require the students to hand in a VPD, that's from UniAssist. They basically convert the grades into the German grading system. And your bachelor needs to have at least 180 ECTS credit points. English proficiency is B2, and we only accept ELTS and TOEFL tests. And we have 2 intakes each year with an application period for the winter semester from the 1st of May until the 15th of June. And currently we have the application period for the summer semester, which started on the 15th of November and ends on the 15th of January. If you are here from India, we require you to have an APS before you apply, because otherwise we made the experience that it's very hard to get a visa in time. As I said, your bachelor needs to have 180 ECTS, but as you're joining a University of Applied Sciences, we also require you to have at least 5 months practical experience. If you do not have that practical experience yet, you can do a 6-month internship within the first 2 semesters of the study program. But also please be aware that it's quite tough to come to Germany, find an internship easily. So it would have a benefit if you would also have some practical experience before you apply. So this is the kind of course structure. What we have in our study program is that all students have to do basic courses, and then we have quite a few consolidation courses where students can choose, and then we have interdisciplinary courses and the project and the master thesis. So let me go through it. We have basic courses, so every student has to do advanced engineering mathematics. Every student has to do photonics and laser or engineering chemistry, optoelectronics or applied optics, or this, and also selected topics of electrical engineering. So this is kind of the basic courses where you have no choice, you just have to do it. So you should better be interested in it. I say that in the first place, and then we have the project and the master thesis. As I said, it's normally a 6-month master thesis and the project thesis in one of our laboratories. It's kind of the preparation to scientific work in order for you to complete the master thesis in a scientific way. We have the interdisciplinary courses. There you have the choice between block 1 or block 2. This is basically to prepare you for working in Germany. So we require all students to do at least 2 German language courses. And then you have the choice between block 1 and block 2. The first block consists of research methodology and project management, or you can also prepare for German economy and society and how to apply in English. So that's basically your choice. But the German language class are always compulsory. We have consolidation courses, and students need to pick in total 4 consolidation modules, and you're totally free to choose. I listed here some subjects that we currently offer. This normally change. We get a lot of guest lecturers from all our partner universities worldwide. But this, for example, is the course list that we offer for the next semesters. So you see here we have fiber optic communication, advanced semiconductor technology, quantum theory. So it's basically a mix of all. LED technology is basically given by some lecturers from Osram, for example. So you see we have a very practical approach to our lectures. As I said, we are also a very international degree. We offer double degrees with partner universities in Malaysia. Why Malaysia? Because Malaysia is very connected to Regensburg industry-wise. So, for example, Osram and Infineon, they have plants in Regensburg, but they also have that in Malaysia. That's why the two countries and the two regions are very close to each other. And that's why we offer this double degree programs. That means that you go for, let's say, I think 8 months to Malaysia, and then you get a degree from Germany and also a degree from Malaysia. We also offer semesters abroad in Malaysia, France, and Norway, and of course, some other countries as well. And a lot of students also do just the master thesis in Malaysia or in a laboratory. We have one in Tokyo at the moment, or in Norway as well. I put here just a small selection of our research topics that we currently do at our faculty. So just that you get a kind of impression in which laboratory you can work, in which fields our professors are specialized in. So we have a sensor application center at our faculty. We also have a big clean room in the faculty. And we are also very strong in the research for optoelectronic systems. This is our contacts. If you should have any more questions, Professor Steiner is unfortunately not here today, but you feel free to email me at any time. But of course not during the Christmas time. I'll be back in my office on the 8th of January. So please be a little bit patient when you, but I will for sure answer you if you contact me at mastermem@oth-regensburg.de. And please also feel free to contact or to have a look at our website and get more information. I will get to your questions that I see are already in the chat after my speech here, and hopefully I get some more questions in there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Gudrun, for interesting presentation. And yeah, please, you can already start answering some questions because the number has increased already. And dear attendees, also the emails that were showed in the on the slide, they're also in the chat, so you can also already take a note. And then whenever you have questions, get back to our speaker. All right, so let us move now, not far away from Regensburg. So we are moving to Technische Hochschule Ingolstadt. So we are staying in Bavaria, and it's Professor Dr. Bochert now, and she will talk about bachelor level program now in sustainable civil engineering. So Professor, please.
Okay, so thank you very much, Georgie, for the kind introduction. So, well, let me show my slides now and hope that everything is working. So, okay, so, well, I think I have the... Okay, let's start. So, well, I want to introduce you about the bachelor program, Sustainable Civil Engineering, here at the THI campus in Neuburg. And we are a sustainability campus. And so, well, I will give you some information about the university. And then I come to the overview of our bachelor program. I will give you some career prospects, and then we come to the application procedure. And after that, we have time to contact in details. So, well, let me say a few words about our University of Applied Science. So we are here in Ingolstadt, and so we are also in Bavaria. In the middle of Bavaria, so it is between Munich and Nuremberg, for example. So the THI is has a huge numbers of science projects, and so we have, for example, so I'm sorry, this is also not in German. So we have 260 science employees. Then we have over 7,000 students, and we have 39 bachelor programs and 33 master courses. We have 200 industry projects, for example, and yes, we have 90 million third-party fundings, for example. We also have a lot of research partners. So we have Fraunhofer, Bayerisches Foresight-Institut, and we have 𝘈𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘵, and these are all research partners here on the THI of the University of Applied Science. So where we have a huge university here, and so we also have name for cooperation partners, for example, Airbus, Audi, Siemens, Continental, BMW, Aldi, etc., etc. So you are in a good surroundings of good contact partners, and that's why we have 250 cooperation partners in research and lectures, and we make more than 1,000 projects with these companies. We also have 125 cooperation partners to make a dual studies. That means you can spend some of your hours in a company, and then you have a study program which is dual. So you have a lot of chances here to study at the THI, and we are mostly international. So we have 400 outgoings. We have, of course, English language studies, and we have 40% of the graduates safe experience abroad. And we also have 100 partner universities for an interaction of the internationals to make an exercise or a practical semester abroad in a partner university, for example. So there are a lot of perspectives to study here on the THI in Ingolstadt. But now let me show us our very small and tiny and kindly city Neuburg. And you see here a lot of pictures. So our most famous city sign is our castle here. And if you go there, you want to see this. And in winter times, we have some swimming tours here in the Donau, because Neuburg is in between the Donau, and here you can see in wintertime people want to swim with some ducks, of course. In summer times we have a castle festival, so this is worldwide famous for this. And so you can have some outdoor activities like mountain biking and canyoning and swimming, for example. You will find a lot of things. We have 30,000 inhabitants, for example. And so we are a very small campus now, and we want to rise in the next 5 years to 1,200 students. But let me show the first experience of our of our bachelor's program for the sustainable civil engineering, because we made a clip, and I will show you this clip to give you an introduction, the first glimpse of our campus. Hello from the campus Neuburg at the THI. I'm the head of the bachelor program Sustainable Civil Engineering. So let me introduce our campus, the students, and of course our mission of sustainable building.
I'm from the Philippines.
I am 21 years old and I come from Mauritius.
And I'm from Russia. I just moved here from Romania.
I'm 20 years old and I come from Palestine.
And I'm from Tanzania.
So let me tell you some topics, what we want to do here. We want to reduce materials. We want to make a new method for buildings with less mass, for example.
I dream of becoming a project engineer and helping designing buildings.
I want to be sure that my profession is useful and helpful.
And Germany is one of the most sustainable countries in the world.
I plan to come back to my hometown and work as a civil engineer.
The things that inspired me to come to Germany is discipline, hard work, and also the technology.
I plan to work as a An engineer will focus on sustainability engineering.
Special here on the campus is that we have a tiny relationship between the profs and the students, for example. If I speak in my name, so I know everybody with his own name, and so we are very close to each other.
I like the city, going around through the river. It's very, very nice.
It's a small city. I don't like big cities with big crowds.
Ever since I was young, I was very fascinated about construction. I just like buildings. I love structures.
It's my dream because my father is also a construction engineer, and I was very close to him growing up, and he just gave me his passion.
With you and with your support here, we want to make a lot of other steps to reduce the CO2 emission and so to stop the global warming.
Okay, so this was the first glimpse of our small campus, and so let me show you our program of the Sustainable Civil Engineering. So where you are studying at the Faculty of Sustainable Infrastructure, and where you know me now, I am 𝘱𝘢𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘯𝘨. I am a professor for mechanics, informatics, and civil engineering, and I'm also the dean of this faculty. So let me show our mission. So we are increasing in world population per minute with 157 people, and so we have to use and produce more food, more roads, more infrastructure, more buildings, and that means that our CO2 emission is rising step by step. And so we have to work to spend this gas in a very sensitive way, and that's why we want to reduce this and the part of civil engineering, because here we spend 40% of the CO2 emission, and that's why we have to work on new fields of the civil engineering. So let me show you some steps, what's gonna mean, or what civil engineering is meaning. So we can see the Tokyo Skytree, its limitlessness. And so that's why we have the statics and dynamics forces, for example. And here you have, for example, winds and earthquakes. And here, yes, you have to build in a very creative and in a very smart way. We also have a bridge. This is, yes, a static and structural work of art, for example, because to get this large bridge, you have to know a lot about civil engineering and constructional engineering. As a new material which is getting more of their possibilities is, for example, wood construction. And this is, for example, in Hamburg, a 65-meter high house is gonna build now, and in Berlin, a 98 meters high wooden house is planned. So we made researches in materials. For example, we have a new laboratory, and we will get new laboratories in the year of 2028. We make practical and social works in our studies, in our programs. So we have a town hall in 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝑗 in Namibia to renovate this and to have a really close contact with the governor of 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝑗. So we are very proud to renovate this town hall, and so the students feel very good with this. So our program is shown here. And you start in the first 2 semesters with the normal civil engineering subjects, modules, etc. So we start with mathematics, with mechanics and computer programming, for example, and then we go also into the building construction, and to make you sensitive of the sustainability and construction, we have a special module, a special subjects in there. In the first semester, each week comes another speaker, another lecture, and they want to tell you the perspective of an alternative civil as CO2 reduced buildings for the civil engineering. So each week, another speaker is coming to show you another way for our mission to reduce the CO2 emission. You also have building physics, and then you have in the second semester the mathematics, the mechanics. You have surveying, and also you have construction management, low carbon construction, sustainable construction in materials. You also have this. In the third and fourth semester, you are in a higher semester. That's why you have also reinforced concrete. You have the structural analysis, you have introduction in geotechnic and transport technology, and then you have sanitation, water, waste management. You also have fluid mechanics as well as sustainable design and management of buildings. In the fourth semesters, you have also steel construction, you have law, you have geotechnic and soil mechanics, sustainable transport technologies, and timber construction. The fifth semester, you go into an internship, and you have an internship with 18 weeks, and you also have scientific methods, and the scientific methods leads for an step before your bachelor degrees, because here you have a little bit time in between your internship, which you spend in a company. You can find your way and your mission, your vision, what you want to do in your later work, for example. And then you have the digital operation management, advanced construction, digital building, automation, and an elective. An elective, you can spend there the DGNB, for example, or we have other elective for to give you a helping hand for your interests in this study in your program of sustainable civil engineering. After that, you have the seventh semester, and then you make your bachelor thesis. This is most, you make this within company, or you go to a professor and you make some research projects. In the seventh semester, you also have some modules and subjects like sustainable building structures. Here you want to learn how to reduce materials. You make a nice constructions. You have a nice structural analysis system. And then you have, with this thinking, you have a good knowledge about how to reduce, for example, materials, to use new materials, and so on. You have a sustainable structural engineering. Here you find new methods and a life cycle, climate change adaptation engineering. And with this program, you are well known, sustainable civil engineering, and well, this concept is, yes, it's a nice program to make the transmission and the transformation which we have to do. So let me show you some career prospects. So here you can work as a construction and civil engineering companies. You can work in a general planner of the construction industry and building materials industry. You can work as a civil engineer in an office in all areas about public institution. You can have cities and communications and project management companies. With these studies, you can work really as a structural engineer, as a structural dynamic engineer. You can work as an environment engineer, site manager, coordinator, project planning, or division manager of a general planners. So this is a really good education, because your thinking is for an engineer, as a manager, and as a coordinator, and it would be very nice to have contact to each person on the civil side, which is in any areas, and then you have the knowledge and the speak with these different peoples. We need different peoples, and we need a team to be successful in projects, and we have to be open-hearted to each other. And that's why I would like to invite you to give an application to our program. So our program, you have to pay now 67 euros per year, but I think in next winter semester it's much more. But now you can make your application till the middle of February. And you have some links here for the application. I'm so sorry. This is also the old slide. I'm so sorry. So here is not the September, so we have the February. You will find the application here with these links, and you find our Primus to have some admissions. So where we have after admission, you can have an onboard system for our international or with our international office. And here you can have some information, you have some digital consultation, you have some excursions, and of course you have workshops. There you can find some friends, some other international students, which are in combination here in Ingolstadt. So please keep in mind, we are sitting in Neuburg. We are a small campus now, but we are rising till the year of 2028 on 1,200 students. We have a close connection here to Ingolstadt. You will find a lot of friends. You will find a flat in Neuburg. And we are, well, as I showed you in the video clip, a really close interactions to our studies. So here you see our team in the international office. So they are real, they are here in Ingolstadt, and they give you a helping hand to show you how it works to study here in Neuburg and here in Ingolstadt. So keep them, or feel free to keep with them in contact, ask them questions. You can ask me questions, and then we can offer you a really nice start here at the THI. Yeah, so I want to say thank you for your time. And if you have questions, please feel free to ask me, ask some colleagues, or ask the international office to say hello here in the campus Neuburg with our very nice castle. So thank you very much.
Great. Thank you very much, Professor, for a comprehensive presentation. And yeah, let us now jump into the Q&A session. And also Gudrun, thanks a lot for taking care of the questions that were sent to you, but some of them I will pick up again to voice it up for the wider audience. But let me start with a question for you, Professor Dr. Bohert. So the question was, so there are 3 questions came together regarding the application, bureaucratic part of application. So let me ask them together maybe. So February 15th is the deadline. And also, what are the documents required? And the second question related to that also is, when does the program start? In winter or summer?
Yeah. We are starting in summer, and so we are starting in March the 15th. And so we also made the first program the winter semester, but now we have a first semester and a second semester at the same time. And we also offer a first semester in March the 15th. Exactly. And so you have to put their documents like high school and your documents about your health care, etc., on the international office, because better on the links which I told you and showed you. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Let me now move to Regensburg. And there were 2 questions, I think, regarding the again, the bureaucratic question, again, the type of the certification. So you regarding notarization, whether notarization only is enough, and whether the notarization can be done also in English and not in German. Gudrun, please.
Yes, for applications at Regensburg, not notarized documents are enough, and they also can be done in English. So we also accept documents that are provided in English and not in German only.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. A kind of a after being student perspective from question from Yaroslav for Professor Bochert, what was an experience of THI graduate students to find a job in Germany during next 18 months after the studies? Yeah, I mean, a general perspective from your side.
Okay, so we have good perspective here because everybody is searching and looking forward for a civil engineer with such kind of education. So we have a lot of civil construction companies in Neuburg, in Ingolstadt. If you want to travel more, you can have super jobs in Munich, for example, and so you will get a really nice job in Germany. And it would be a pleasure to have more international people here with such a knowledge which you get in Neuburg.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. So there was a question also regarding the double degree in Malaysia that Regensburg has the option with. So the question was regarding the amount, then the number of semester students have to spend if they also opt for this double degree. Will they have to prolong for 1 year, for 2 years, or maybe less? So please, Gudrun, what would you say?
Normally students take most of the time like 1 semester more. We do a lot of credit transfers for the courses, but most of the time students decide to do some extra courses and then maybe want to add something to employability in Germany. So our students, they always find jobs in Germany, but especially they find good jobs in Germany when they learn German.
Yeah.
This is an essential part for our students. The better they speak German, the better the job is.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. So the next question, let me ask this question to maybe both of you. Is there any advantage of to submitting my application early? Professor Dr. Bochert, let me start with you. So if I submit it before the deadline, for example, earlier, will I get the answer earlier? Will I have more chances to get into the program? What would you say?
Yes, of course. I think it's always a good idea to make an early application because you have to wait for your visa as well. And then you have the chance to get in time at March 15th here and do not spend the digital way, for example, because yes, I had the experience that the visa needs a long time. And so we offer a digital lesson as well as the physical lesson, but it's always nicer to spend the time in the classroom and to celebrate the examination, for example, and the lecture. And yes, so I think the earlier, then that is the best thing. Yes.
It seems that in Regensburg is the same because Gudrun is agreeing.
Yeah, the earlier the better, because then you can kind of fix all your stuff at home and come search for a flat apartment and then maybe get a little bit settled before the university starts.
Okay, Gudrun, let me stay with you and ask you a question. How large are the class sizes at Regensburg on average?
Yeah, that depends really on the lecture. So our basic courses are a little bit larger. So I would say like sometimes around 50, but the consolidation and the interdisciplinary modules are normally seminars and they consist of like 20 students. And also the language courses are designed for maximum of 20 students. But it depends on the lecture.
Okay, great. And in Ingolstadt?
Oh, yes, that's a very nice question because the first program starts in October 23. So we have experience with the first semester. And so now we are 10 students. So because it needs a little bit time to make it published and to know everything and to go throw these nice bachelor program into the world. And I hope so we're getting more each semester. Genau. But everybody knows each other. They had a nice time, or they have a nice time on the 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥, for example. And so it's no problem to spend with a smaller group now, and we are rising each year. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Professor, let me stay with you because there were a couple of questions regarding the internship that you mentioned in the curriculum. One question is the fixed internship really fixed? How can I ensure to have internship in the specific time slot? And a second also was, are students alone in finding internships, or any assistance is provided from the program or from the university?
Okay, so let me start with the last question. So there you can ask a professor, of course, if they have a contact for a company for the internship. Yes, but we do not we don't have a special program for a helping hand to find an internship. So I think the students are in a good age to find an internship by themselves. Because they get some yes because they have to do it by their own, because they have to do it by their own as well as their work in the companies. And so but we can say how want to make the application in German, and how can we find some companies. So we are always helping here in the campus Neuburg, because we are very small, and if they do not find something, so we get a start to find or to react our contacts. I think yes, but well, let me say I do not have an experience about an internship now, because our first students are here since October 23. So I do not know how it is, how is how many people and how many companies want to offer an internship. But I'm in a good mood. Everybody needs helping hands and good educated students.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Professor. Now there was an interesting question also for Regensburg regarding the curriculum also. The question is that you mentioned several focus points, and how many can students choose, and since which semester can they already decide for which focus they can go? Gudrun?
So we have, I would say, 4 focus areas in our study program. And as our study program, a master study program, is relatively, 3 semesters is not very long. The maximum duration of the study program is 5 semesters. So I would say that maximum 2 focus areas are possible to do. And also, students should not choose too many focus points, because then it's not a focus anymore. Then it's just a broad knowledge and not the focus that we actually want to give them in the end.
Okay, great, thank you. There were 2, I think one question was for Regensburg and another one also for Ingolstadt regarding the accreditation. Could you, both of you, just briefly say about it? For example, one question is the THI Sustainable Civil Engineering course accredited for the US? And also the second was for Regensburg, is it also ABET accredited? I think it's also related to some US type of accreditation. So what would you say regarding accreditations? So students want to feel safe. I think also, maybe Gudrun, let's start with you.
I think the system in Germany is quite a little bit different to the accreditation system in other countries. So at least for OTH is that we do our accreditation by ourselves for the study programs, and then our university gets an accreditation, and so then they are allowed to do the accreditation for the study programs. So we are accredited for Germany, but unfortunately, I cannot tell you if the accreditation is valid for other countries.
Okay, clear, thank you. And Professor, what would you say?
So, well, I have to say the same thing. So we have the own accreditation, and so yes, we have the same accreditation system than Regensburg. Okay,
great. Just from my side, also small note. Usually, you shouldn't get any problems when you have studied in German university, accredited university. You shouldn't have any problems outside also Germany because of the quality of the job they are providing. So this is a general answer maybe to your question, dear attendees. Okay, great. Now it's a specific question also for both. What document is enough to provide from Ukrainian refugees instead of a student visa? Is it possible to issue this one in Ingolstadt or Regensburg? Thank you. So yeah, because of the obvious reasons, a student visa cannot be issued, for example, in Ukraine. But what can be other options that students can have in order to study at your universities? Let's start with Professor Bochert. If you have any information about this, a very specific question.
Okay, so but there's a really specification question, and I'm not sure what I can say, because I'm not I do not have much experiences now about this. But if you have some question, I can ask the expert of this. So I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's totally fine. Gudrun, what would you say?
We have a coordinator for Ukrainian students and all that based in our international office. And as I answered in the chat, if you have any specific question regarding that, please email me and I will forward it to our expert.
Okay, that's great. And yeah, also from my side, usually you shouldn't have any bureaucratic problems in this regard as a Ukrainian refugee nowadays in Germany. So they will help you out. So you will not be left without a document that you will let you to study in Germany. That's a very general answer, so to say. Professor Bochert, there were several questions whether you offer any orientation courses, any visiting sessions, so the student just can attend one lecture, for example, and to see how it works in Ingolstadt. Is there any kind of options like this, like that?
Not yet. It's not planned to get some some visits in some courses, for example. But yes, some students are already sitting in their home country and waiting for their visa, and so we have a digital or hybrid way for our lecture. And if they want to visit a lecture, then they will send me an email and I will send them a link, and then they can visit us. So it's no props, I think. Yes.
Okay, great. I saw several questions also regarding whether your school certificates will work in Germany. For example, when you're applying for bachelor's, I just quickly drop in the chat 2 links. For example, Ghana, it's also for you. It's ANABIN and DAD databases where you can check whether your school certificates will work and will be accepted, and whether you need to go through the Studienkolleg. Okay, so actually now we are coming close to the end. Let me stop here. We have already addressed lots of questions, but if there are any more open questions, both our speakers provided you with contact details. You can get in touch with them, and any follow-up questions, any assistance questions, they're ready to help, and they will definitely help you. And also, of course, if you have any questions to us, we are also happy. We're also here to help you. I saw some scholarship questions, some visa questions, some UniAssist even questions. You can get in touch with us. You can attend our webinars, and you can read our articles. There we explain also all these things in detail. And yeah, I would like to thank our attendees for your interest, for joining us, for your interesting questions, of course, to our guests for wonderful presentations, and for really going in detail for each of the questions. And yeah, dear attendees, if you would like to also leave us feedback for today's webinar, you could also do it through our Facebook or Google channels. And yeah, I hope to see you on our future webinars as well. In 2023, there are a couple left general webinars, and mostly, of course, we'll meet in 2024. And yeah, I wish you a very nice rest of the day. Take care and bye-bye.